Okay, mic check. Woo! Got a nice one for you guys today. I'm gonna show you guys how to turn this into this, because sometimes you just don't have the luxury of hanging out and waiting for a great sky to work with. So here we go. What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Will Simpson if you're new, and in this channel we explore all the things that are photography, hence exploring photography. Today I'm going to show you how to take a beautiful landscape but make it into a dramatic piece of art. So without further talking, let's just get right into the video. Here's the photo we're going to be working with. Now, I took this the other night and it's a beautiful photo, don't get me wrong, but we have some of the best sunsets in Florida, and this one was just a dud. Even though this is a pretty photo, it's not what I had in mind, so we're gonna make that right now. So the first thing we're going to do is, it's a little dark, so we're going to raise the exposure up to about 1.8, and then we're going to drop the highlights to about 34. We're gonna raise all the shadows all the way up. We're going to set the white and black point, so press and hold Alt or Option on your keyboard, and we're gonna raise this up to right until we see white. See that little bit in the bottom left area, so about plus 29. Then we're gonna do the same with the blacks. Push and hold Alt or Option, click the slider and slide it down till we start seeing blacks, so about minus 29. Good, so now we have the photo set to get ready to edit. However, there's one thing that I forgot to do, and if you watch my videos, you know exactly what it is. You're yelling at me right now. You're saying, Will, fix the crop. That's right, because the photo is not straight. So click the crop button. We're gonna click the little angle ruler tool, and we're going to drag this on the horizon, a straight line, and boom. Thank you for reminding me. All right, now let's bring this into Luminar AI, because I wanna replace the sky. So we're gonna right click on it, go to Edit, Edit in Luminar AI. Now, while that loads, because it does sometimes take a little bit, I want to tell you about this course that I just launched, and I want to give it to you absolutely for free. It's a sky replacement course, and it comes with 9 amazing skies, including the one that we're about to use. So if you want the skies and you want the tutorials in Photoshop and Luminar AI on how to replace skies, click the link in the description, you create an account, and then you get the course absolutely for free, and you can start creating these awesome images. But Luminar is now open, so let's get back to the tutorial. All right, so we're in Luminar now, and we're gonna click Edit. The first adjustments we're gonna make is in the light, because the sky I'm using has a lot of orange and a lot of magenta in it. So we're going to immediately raise the warmth to 100 and the magenta to about 39. This is gonna get our colors the way we want it for this image, and also it looks really good just like that. Next, we're gonna click Sky Selection, scroll down, and we're going to choose Dramatic 33. This is one of the skies in that sky pack that you get for free. Now, Luminar will automatically place it, and it does a fairly good job, but there are a few adjustments that we need to make. The first one is the sky orientation. We're going to set the horizontal point. We're actually gonna drag it down here, and we're going to make this feather a little bit smaller, just like that. And then press enter here. Next, we're gonna change the vertical position to just 1, because I wanna raise it just a shade. We're also going to change the horizontal position to 34, which what this will do is this will bring the sun over here a little. Now you'll notice this kind of mess up here. We're gonna fix that in a second. Next, we're gonna go to Mask Refinement, and we're going to raise global all the way up to 100. And what this is going to do is it's going to bring the sky in more and blend it more harshly with the original image. Then on Close Gaps, we're going to raise this to about 24. This is gonna help us clear up those little details down here. Then we're gonna fix details. We're gonna raise this all the way to about 90. Now let's see, still not liking that. So we're gonna go back into horizon position. We're gonna bring this down, there we go, till it just right there at the horizon. That little haze is totally fine. All right, so that looks so much better already. Next, we're gonna go into scene relighting, and this we're gonna leave at 20, but we're going to raise the saturation all the way to 100. This affects the color of the foreground and blends it with the sky, so the colors generally fit a little bit better. The next thing we're gonna adjust is the reflection, so select that tab there. We're gonna lower this down to 10, because a lot of the adjustments that I'm gonna make are actually back in Lightroom, where I can affect them globally and locally. And that's all the adjustments we're gonna make here in Luminar AI. If I click the backslash button, here's the before, here's the after. Now that looks really, really good as is, but we're gonna finish back in Lightroom because I wanna make this super dramatic. So go ahead and press apply, and that will bring us back into Lightroom. All right, now we are back in Lightroom. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna slap on one of my presets, and this is part of my Exploring Photography 2020 preset pack available on my website, and that is Touch of Blue. We're gonna slap that one on, and immediately you're like, bam. I mean, that just, ooh, that looks good, but it's a little intense for my liking. So we're gonna make a few quick adjustments. The first adjustment we're gonna do is we're gonna come down to Vignette, we're gonna reset the vignette, and then we're going to go into details and we're going to reset all of those because we will make adjustments to those in a second. Those are just adding a little too much than what I want. Next, we're gonna go up to the basic panel and we're going to lower the shadows down to 55 because let me show you why. If we zoom in here, you see how there's all this noise here? Well, that's because we boosted the shadows too much, and so there's not enough detail in the image, which we're getting that noise. Now, we don't mind a little bit, that's okay. So we're just gonna lower this down to about 50, and if you notice, that darkens it down so there's less noise, but there still is a little detail, and we're okay with that. Next, we're going to raise the exposure just a shade to +20. That way we have a little bit more to work with, and we can do a little bit of dodging and burning and really make it look nice. Now that we have all of our global adjustments made, the next thing we're gonna do is do a bunch of local adjustments and masking. And if you haven't seen how to use these new masking tools in Lightroom, I'll link the how-to at the end of this video, but we're gonna do a run through of them really quick right now. So the first thing we're gonna do is click the little masking tool here. We're gonna click Linear Gradient. We're gonna slide this one up and we're just going to darken this one down just a shade. Then we're gonna create a new one, new linear gradient. We're gonna do the same thing up top just to pull in this kind of a natural vignette. Looks better. Darken that one a little. Immediately your attention goes into the image from the sides rather than spreading all out all over the image. Next, we're gonna do a radial filter and a radial gradient. And what this is gonna do is this is gonna create a little bit more of the pop in the sky. So just like this, actually it's a little big there. Bring this down to the horizon, good. And we're going to add a little bit of warmth to it, so about 20. We're gonna add a little bit of tint, so about 10, 12, something like that. Really bringing out the colors and the power of this image. And then let's raise the exposure because that is where the sun is, so it would be a little brighter, to about 0.38. Now we wanna pull this out of the blacks. If we click to show mask, click O on the keyboard, you see that this effect is affecting everything. Since the sun is behind the pier and these little wave caps, you wouldn't get that brightness, you wouldn't get that color. So we're gonna press subtract and from luminance mask, and then we're gonna pull this out of the dark. So slide this over to about there. And notice how now the mask is only on the bright parts. It's not on the pier. It's not where the wave is crashing. It's only in the bright parts where the sun is actually hitting. So that looks way better. So now here's the before and here's the after. This, that's looking good. Okay, next we're going to do a little bit more burning, which is darkening. We're gonna create a new mask, go down to luminance, and we're going to only affect the dark parts of the image, so just like that. And we are just going to simply put a little bit of darkness in there, and that's just going to darken the dark parts, the blacks and the deep shadows of the image to create a little bit more depth. Now we're going to add a little bit more with the brush tool. So we're gonna take the brush, we're gonna make it a little smaller, and we're just gonna brush where the actual shadows and dark parts are. If you make a mistake, press and hold the Alt or Option key and it'll give you an eraser, and you can erase that. But we're just gonna lightly paint over this. This is where the shadows are, and we're gonna give this a little bit of depth. I'm gonna give a little bit to the pier. This does not have to be super perfect. It's just making it look really, really nice. Okay, good. And then, oops. Remove that and then darken this down. Again, just a shade. We don't want to do too much. Actually, that's a little too much. So I think just -0.8. So before and after, looking good. Now the final thing we have to do, and I'm sure if you look at this image, you're like, well, it's just missing. What's missing? Well, that's the blend. If you were standing on this beach and you were looking at this scene, it would be very orange and purple. Now what's missing here? That's right. The color in the water would be a lot more intense. So we need to blend that a little bit more. So create a mask, linear gradient, put this one right here just so it covers the water. Just like that. And then we're simply going to raise the temperature to about 16, 15, 16, 17, and then raise the tint to about 21. And this blends that together, really brings that intensity, raises up a little. So it's hitting that spot right there. And that should do it. Okay, I think that looks amazing. So here is the absolute before and after. Oh my gosh, you guys, come on. That is amazing. I don't care who you are, that looks lovely. Absolutely fantastic. And that wraps up this video. So if you wanna get a little bit more in depth and get some of these skies for free, click the link in the description and sign up for my mini but mighty sky replacement course, which is, again, absolutely free, so why not? And if you wanna learn more about the new masking features in Lightroom, click this video here. Don't forget to subscribe right here and like the video, or if you have any questions or how you feel about sky replacements, feel free to comment, let me know, say hi, it's all good. Otherwise, I will see you guys next Monday. It was good seeing you. See you later.